I'm Ellis Martin, joined now by Carolyn Coleridge, psychotherapist, clinical social worker, and intuitive counselor, educated at New York's Columbia University. Carolyn also worked counseling executives on Wall Street. She's been on CNN, written many articles on holistic health, and today she joins us from Los Angeles, California. Her website is intuitivesoulhealing.com. Carolyn, welcome to the Opportunity Show.
Thanks for having me.
Carolyn, let's talk about intuition. Everyone has it. Not everyone knows how to use it. What is intuition?
Intuition actually comes from a word meaning intuit or inner teacher, and it's basically your insight. I believe it's a connection to God or Source or the universe where you start to get insights without knowing, without really logical thinking, without planning, just like an aha moment that comes to you. And then when you work with it, you usually can figure things out very quickly on a deep spiritual and very natural, instinctual type of level.
How do you recognize that and learn to trust it?
It's usually something where somebody may say something to you. For example, like my coworker said, "Oh, I'm going to the doctor's appointment," and I said, "Oh, really?" And then I said later she came back. I just said, "Oh, how was your interview?" So it's kind of like she's like looked at me strange. It's kind of like an insight. It's like really quick and fast, and it's just like a knowingness of something that you don't have proof for. Intuition is something that most people have. We just always don't utilize it, and it is hard to kind of trust it at first. Some people are more intuitive than others. Some people have more natural gifts to it. And I believe what happens is that some people work with it with their jobs. They call it gut instincts. People have different definitions for it. They call it insight. They call it just knowing really quickly and clearly what's going on. Or they just say that they're insightful. I think that most people have it. They just don't cultivate it. And schools don't cultivate it because we're more of a logical society as opposed to intuitive society. They may cultivate that in other cultures, but definitely not in the U.S. as much.
In addition to intuition being a feeling or emotionally based, can it manifest physically as well?
Yeah, definitely. The intuition definitely resonates very much in the body in many different ways. People have this feeling, those gut instincts right in their gut, or we call it the solar plexus, which is an energy center around our gut area. And sometimes people have a flip-flop feeling, or like their stomach feels really tight, or they feel like a pinch in their stomach, and that's what they call gut instincts. I think it's in Finland, gut. The word gut means God, actually. So it's like this instinct, this pull that doesn't feel right. Some people have intuition through their head. They get headaches if they're around people they don't like, or if they're around environments that don't feel right. Some people get intuition in their throat area, their throat chakra. It's like a feeling where you meet somebody and you get choked up, or you get choked up for either like you like them or you don't like them. Some people get tingling feelings, the goosebumps, bumps on your shoulders when you see something that feels right. Someone gives you an idea and you say, "Well, yeah, that feels right." And that's really what you're doing. You're feeling into the energy of the insight into the truth. So definitely your body can respond to intuition.
Intuition is potentially a great tool, not just in your personal life, but in business, a tool that few of us use effectively.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I used to work on Wall Street as a counselor for brokers, and they're all gut instincts. Like they're feeling good today, they're feeling the market, they're feeling bad. They're working a lot with it. They don't call it intuition, but it was very instinctual. So the way I worked with them, having them cultivate their insight, what is it when you feel uncomfortable? Is it a headache? Is it a stomach flick? Something, the chills or the hair in the back of your head rises up. You learn to recognize that and then work with it. A lot of times when people have headaches, it's something that's pretty negative. Other times people get this really light feeling and a good feeling, and they should move forward with that idea or that way of working or that account or whatever it may be. So the more people work with it daily, I feel like it helps them with their life, their career, relationships, with money, with instincts. Should I invest in this? Should I stay with that? The more you cultivate it, the more it becomes second nature. You start connecting with the universal language, which works on intuition, synchronicity, and coincidences. That's pretty much the universal language. That's how the universe speaks to us.
Speaking of coincidences and synchronicities, it's as simple as a voice in my head talking to me often. I'll hear a thought or an idea, and I'll act on it, and boom, it can be just that easy.
That's a good point. It's very quick. It's not a lot of logical thinking with insights and intuition. It's almost like a flit, an idea, like a light bulb going off. And if you don't catch it, you can lose it. It's not the thinking through. It's that feeling of aha, or ooh, yeah, or that sounds right. That feels right. You check with your feeling, you check with your insight, and you usually have to move forward so you don't miss that. The same way that dreams work. We get very intuitive in our dreams, and if you don't write down your dreams or really think about them when you wake up, they're gone. They just flip back into consciousness. So the same thing intuition is like. It's for us to get more quiet and to listen to our own gut instincts, our own God instincts. Somebody can give you advice, but your own gut is so much stronger than anyone else's because it's your program, it's your soul, it's your connection that really helps you to to bring peace and love and prosperity to your life.
So when we talk about intuition, intuitive counseling, intuitive healing, gut feelings, adding the word God into it, this is something that should work inside the constructs of any religious belief.
I use that term God, but some people think God and the universe are the same, which I agree with, or source. As I worked with my intuition more and more, I kept having these miraculous situations that happened to me, both financially, with relationships, with opportunities like to do something on CNN and other things that just happened. These miracles were just coming out of the blue, and I realized that this miracle is like connected to God, and that's how I connected the universe to God and to, the whole connection, like God was the universe, because there's no other way this could have happened. I felt like it was beyond me. They were just so wonderful and miraculous. And I believe that, we're all here to kind of work on our own life. If you don't believe in God, at least believe in the universe, or at least work with something that you believe that there's an energy or a source that's working with you, that's helping you on this path. Like, you're not alone on it. We do have a little, like a GPS system. I call that's our intuition, our GPS, like which way to go, which direction, which way to move forward. Every religion has it, and they call it a lot of different things. In fact, a lot of people praying is to pray to the universe, and meditation, which is taken out of a lot of religions, especially in the Catholicism and Protestant, it was taken out because I believe years ago they wanted people to just go to the Pope or the Bishop or whoever it may be and not to trust their own insights. And meditation is when your intuition really, really, really gets strong. The more you meditate, the more you're going to get insights into the universal knowledge and consciousness.
Isn't meditation prayer?
It's a form of prayer, I guess you could say. I look at them as just like the yin-yang. Prayer is when you're asking. You're putting that energy out, the yang. And meditation is taking it in, is receiving information. And that's how you receive information from your heart, from your soul. Yes, when you start to listen to the space in between thought, like that space right there in between a thought, I believe that's consciousness, that's reality, that's God coming through you. So the more you get quiet and you meditate, meditation is actually bringing up that information that's already inside of you to your own consciousness.
So instead of necessarily talking to God, you should be listening.
Yeah, we get so many signals that are everyone else's opinions, advertising, and other things coming to us, but we're also getting broadcasts from our soul, which I believe is consciousness outside of this planetary area, and a lot of insights come through meditation, through being quiet, through our sleep. That's another way. Meditation is like a deeper sleep. When you're asleep, you get dreams, and dreams tell you ideas about what's going on. I mean, we're all on a journey here on this earth plane, and I believe that your intuition is your answer to move forward and to get a really understanding of why you're here and what you need to be doing and how do you feel joy and peace.
So intuition is the most important tool that we're given. It's our guiding light, so to speak, and it's what we should pay attention to the most.
Yeah, I believe so. It's really, really important. I mean, even great teachers, if they're really great, they teach you how to trust your own inner knowledge, your own inner wisdom, because we're all divine and we all have the great ability to do miraculous things. A lot of really successful people, Einstein, he went to sleep, he had visions, Carnegie, used a lot of his intuition. I think Hilton would go to sleep whenever he had to make a decision, a business plan, or close his door, he would get quiet and kind of meditate, and they say, this is what we need to do. We need to start hotels, we need to do this, we need to do that. So a lot of people use it, and it's one of the cheapest, easiest ways to find prosperity and well-being.
Do you have any suggestions for listeners that are going through challenging economic times?
If you want to be prosperous, the best thing is to go with your gifts. Whatever you feel your gifts are, whatever you feel like you need to be, you feel happy doing, it feels easy to you, it gives you joy, it gives you peace. That's how you usually make your prosperity. So the first thing is to get clear, like, what am I here for? What do I feel happiness doing? And don't think about, like, how do I make money? How do I do that? Because that's going to get you into a job that maybe you're not happy with, or maybe something that's not prosperous. So the most important thing is to figure out, like, what you're good at, what you love doing, and go with it. There's a great book, Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow. I really believe that's true. So the first thing is to identify, like, what you are good at, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel joy. The next step usually is to do an inventory of the area you want to go into. I'm writing a book, and I took to the universe, like, I want to write a book. And all of a sudden, I work at a bookstore, and this guy at Mystic Journey in Venice, and he said, well, why don't you work for me, like speaking with the authors and doing publicity and doing other stuff, just out of the blue. I wasn't looking for that. It was like the universe saying, write a book, and we'll teach you how to be a writer, and we'll help you meet authors, and we'll teach you how to get publicists. Things started moving that way, and I think that's what people need to do. Once you set your mind on your goals, your gifts, the universe opens up every door to give you the opportunity to move forward.
Carolyn Coleridge, thanks so much for joining me today on The Opportunity Show. Tell us about your website before we close.
My website is Intuitive Soul Healing, and I have a lot of classes on spiritual growth. there and a lot of information on articles and different things I wrote about working with the universe and trusting your gut and finding your life purpose and finding peace in life.